Okay.
Okay, thank you very much for being with us today.
My pleasure.
I don't know if you would define this role as risky, and you like to take risks in your role choices.
I like to do things that I haven't really done before. I like to do things that slightly scare me. I think that's a good place to be. I've become more comfortable with being uncomfortable, if you know what I mean. I know that if I read something, I go, oh yeah, I can do that. It doesn't bring out the best of me. So the type of character, the type of film, the demands, the rawness, the sustained intensity, emotional intensity of it were great challenges. I had an incredible director, Denis Villeneuve, and an obviously incredible cast, because none of this happens alone. So with all those things in place, I thought, let's go for it.
But I don't know if you agree that a script as complex as this one is not, we're not used to see Hollywood big stars doing this, because it's, I would say, it's more complex than most stars do. And
yeah, I don't know. It is complex. It is a story that has many twists and turns. You have to pay attention. You have no idea where it's going. It is part thriller, and it is part serious drama as well that makes you think after the credits roll. I actually think a lot of actors, and I know on this one, a lot of actors were circling around it. So the tough thing, I think, is, for me as well, not saying yes to it, but making sure the right director's on it. Because it's not a film that Hollywood does a lot, and it's not an easy thing to do. But I'm really excited that it's done well at the box office, because even if I wasn't in it, I'd be excited, because it shows me that these are the types of movies people want to see, and they're prepared to see, you know.
In this film, we are invited to think about these little communities in America that when a crime like this happens, they are anxious to look for a guilty person, to look for something to blame, someone to blame, and sometimes this blaming somebody is not the right person to blame.
Okay.
How do you relate with these moral twists in the script?
I love the moral ambiguity of the film. I think it's the real strength of the film. It doesn't draw easy heroes or villains. It doesn't make up your mind for you. It has a lot to say about many things, not just in this particular situation of children going missing, but how far can countries go in terms of violence, or what is acceptable in order to protect yourself. I love all that. I think in terms of, for me, I suppose, at the end, I think one of the things I get out of it is it's easy to judge. It's easy to be judgmental about other characters, about other countries. And until you've been in that situation, until you walk the shoes of those people, you understand that for a father whose daughter goes missing, actually a lot of the reasoning goes. It becomes primal, instinctive, emotional energy that tries to solve things. And in my character's case, he feels he knows 100% who's done it. And no one's listening to him. And that literally drives him crazy. I understand that, you know.
Speaking about San Sebastián, I don't know if you have consulted the list of the Donosti Awards all through these years. I mean, amazing names in there. And how do you feel like joining that club today?
It's incredibly humbling, incredibly surprising. Whenever something like this happens, and I read about, you know, Gregory Peck or Robert De Niro, I just continually see myself as that little kid from, you know, Wahroonga, a northern suburb of Sydney, who just fell in love with the movies and with acting and with theatre. I had really very little ambitions. There was no, even when I graduated drama school, I thought, well, I'll give it a go for 5 years and hopefully I can pay the rent, and if I can't, I'll move on, you know. So I'm quite realistic about the business. I can't believe my good luck. Almost everything has been a surprise to me, but nothing more than getting the Donosti Award here at San Sebastián.
Mm-hmm. And my last question would be about you, I would say, your show side, your singing, your dancing, your performing. We are really anxious to see you again in the Oscars, for example.
Aaron.
I would say, how did you discover you could do all that? You could really perform.
I always felt comfortable on the stage, so I studied theatre, and that was sort of my background. So in terms of being on a stage, I always weirdly sometimes felt more comfortable in front of an audience on a stage than off a stage. That was something that was natural to me. The singing side, trust me, that I had to work at that. I wouldn't call myself a singer or a dancer. I enjoy it. But I have to work at it. And my agent put me up for a musical when I first graduated. I thought she was on drugs at the time. I was like, what are you doing? I said, okay. And I got it. It was the biggest surprise of my life. And then I'm the only actor in history who had it in his contract that I had to have a singing lesson once a week, and they paid for it. I mean, I don't think that's ever happened before. So, yeah, there's a lot of work's gone on.
Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you, David.